Stop scrolling for a second, because the Jefferson Nickels you've ignored for years could be worth real money right now. And most Americans don't realize they're spending valuable coins every single day. In this video, I'm exposing Jefferson Nickels that collectors are aggressively searching for. The tiny details that turn an ordinary 5-cent coin into a high-value U.S. collectible, and why prices for certain nickels are rising fast in today's coin market. Some of these coins have sold for shocking amounts, and the difference between a common nickel and a valuable one is so small that most people miss it. You need to watch this video all the way through, because skipping even one part could cost you thousands. If you care about finding valuable U.S. coins before it's too late, subscribe to Coins Most Valuable, like this video, and let's uncover which Jefferson Nickels you should never spend. Coin number 1, the 1962 Jefferson nickel with D mintmark, is one of those United States coins that looks completely ordinary at first glance. Yet it holds a level of value and collector interest that surprises most people. Millions of Americans have handled Jefferson Nickels over the years without realizing that certain dates and mint marks can be worth far more than 5 cents. The 1962 D Jefferson nickel is a perfect example of how a common-looking coin can become a serious target for collectors who understand rarity, condition, and historical demand in the U.S. coin market. This coin was struck during a period when nickel production was stable, but subtle factors turned specific examples into highly desirable collectibles. When people hear the phrase Jefferson nickel, they often assume the coin has little value unless it is extremely old. That assumption is one of the biggest mistakes made by coin owners across the United States. The 1962 Jefferson nickel with D mintmark proves that mid-20th century nickels can be valuable under the right circumstances. This coin was minted in Denver, and the small D mintmark on the reverse is one of the first things collectors look for. Mintmarks matter because they help identify where a coin was produced, and they can significantly impact scarcity and collector demand. The Jefferson nickel design itself plays a role in the popularity of this coin. Featuring Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse, this design represents American history, leadership, and legacy. Collectors are drawn to coins that reflect important national symbols, and Jefferson Nickels remain one of the most collected U.S. coin series. The 1962 D Jefferson nickel sits within a highly studied era of the series, making it a constant subject of interest among both beginner and advanced collectors. Condition is everything when it comes to the value of the 1962 Jefferson nickel with D mintmark. While circulated examples are common, high-grade uncirculated coins are where the real value begins to appear. Coins that were never heavily used, never damaged, and never improperly stored are far harder to find than most people realize. Many Jefferson Nickels entered circulation immediately after being minted, and only a small percentage survived in pristine condition. This is why collectors pay close attention to surface quality, strike sharpness, luster, and overall eye appeal. One of the most important features collectors examine on the 1962 D Jefferson nickel is the strike quality. Some coins from this year show weak details, especially on Monticello. Coins with strong steps, crisp lettering, and sharp architectural detail are significantly more desirable. Collectors often focus on examples that show exceptional craftsmanship because they represent the highest quality coins produced by the U.S. Mint during that year. These finer details are what separate ordinary nickels from valuable Jefferson nickels worth serious money. Another factor that makes the 1962 Jefferson nickel with D mintmark valuable is collector competition. Jefferson nickels are widely collected as complete date and mintmark sets, and high-grade examples from certain years are extremely difficult to upgrade. When collectors compete to own the finest known examples, prices rise quickly. Demand increases even further when registry collectors seek top-ranked coins to complete elite collections. This competitive environment drives strong prices for the best-preserved 1962 D Jefferson Nickels. Historical context also adds to the appeal of this coin. The early 1960s were a transitional time in American coinage, just before major changes in U.S. minting practices and metal composition would occur later in the decade. Coins from this period represent the final years of what many collectors consider classic modern U.S. coinage. Owning a high-quality 1962 D Jefferson nickel allows collectors to hold a piece of American history frozen in metal. Many people underestimate how quickly value can rise when a coin meets the right criteria. The 1962 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark has proven that age alone does not define worth. Instead, rarity within condition levels is what truly matters. Coins that survive with original mint luster, minimal marks, and strong detail become increasingly scarce over time. As more collectors enter the market and more coins are permanently removed from circulation, the supply of top-condition examples continues to shrink. Authentication and accurate identification are also critical when evaluating this coin. Small differences can drastically affect value, and experienced collectors know exactly what to look for. Even minor surface flaws or cleaning can reduce desirability. This is why many high-end Jefferson nickels remain locked away in collections, rarely seen by the general public. The fewer examples available, the stronger the long-term demand becomes. The excitement surrounding the 1962 D Jefferson nickel is not based on hype alone. It is rooted in documented sales, collector behavior, and long-term trends in the U.S. coin market. Jefferson nickels have steadily gained respect among serious numismatists, especially when exceptional examples appear at auction. When a top-tier coin surfaces, it attracts national attention from collectors across the country. This is where the conversation around value becomes impossible to ignore. The 1962 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark is no longer just a 5-cent coin in the eyes of collectors. It has reached a level where elite examples are considered trophy coins within the Jefferson nickel series. The competition, rarity, and condition sensitivity of this coin have pushed it into a category that surprises even seasoned collectors. The highest price ever recorded at auction for a 1962 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark is $190,000, a figure that completely redefines how people view this coin. That single sale demonstrates exactly how powerful condition, rarity, and demand can be when they align perfectly in the U.S. coin market. This price was achieved because the coin represented one of the finest known examples, making it irreplaceable to serious collectors. Today, the 1962 D Jefferson nickel stands as a reminder that valuable U.S. coins are not always ancient or made of precious metals. Sometimes, the most valuable coins are hiding in plain sight, overlooked by people who never imagined that a Jefferson nickel could reach such extraordinary levels of worth. This coin continues to attract attention, spark competition, and prove that knowledge is the key to discovering real value in American coinage. Coin number 2. The 1964 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark is one of the most misunderstood yet important coins in modern United States coinage. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary 5-cent piece that millions of Americans have seen, handled, and spent without a second thought. However, collectors know that the 1964 D Jefferson nickel holds a unique position in U.S. coin history, and under the right conditions, this coin becomes far more valuable than most people ever expect. This is exactly why Jefferson nickels from this year continue to attract serious attention in the American coin market. The year 1964 was a pivotal moment for U.S. coins. It marked the final year before major changes in American coinage, driven by rising metal prices and nationwide hoarding. While the Jefferson nickel remained composed of its traditional copper-nickel alloy, the economic pressure of the time caused massive production levels and widespread saving of coins. Because of this, many assume that all 1964 Jefferson nickels are common and worthless. That assumption has caused countless valuable examples to be overlooked or mishandled over the decades. The D mint mark on the 1964 Jefferson nickel identifies it as a Denver Mint issue, and this small detail plays a major role in collector evaluation. Mint marks matter because they define production characteristics, strike quality, and survival rates in top condition. While Denver produced a large number of nickels in 1964, the number of coins that survived with exceptional detail, untouched surfaces, and full original luster is extremely small. This gap between mintage numbers and true rarity is what creates real value. Collectors pay close attention to the overall condition of the 1964 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark. Circulated examples are extremely common, But high-grade uncirculated coins are a completely different story. Coins that were never used in everyday transactions and were properly stored from the moment they left the mint are far harder to locate today. Over time, even minor contact marks, dull surfaces, or improper cleaning can dramatically reduce desirability. This is why pristine examples command intense collector interest. Strike quality is one of the most critical factors when determining whether a 1964 Jefferson nickel is valuable. Many coins from this year show weak strikes, especially on Monticello. The steps, columns, and fine architectural details are often soft or incomplete. Coins that display sharp details, strong lettering, and clear definition stand out immediately to experienced collectors. These well-struck examples represent the highest craftsmanship achieved by the U.S. Mint during a year of extreme production pressure. Another reason the 1964 Jefferson nickel with D mintmark is valuable lies in collector competition. Jefferson nickels are one of the most widely collected series in American numismatics. Advanced collectors often attempt to build the finest possible sets, upgrading coins repeatedly in pursuit of perfection. When only a handful of elite examples exist, competition becomes fierce. This drives prices higher as collectors are willing to pay premiums to secure coins that may never appear on the market again. Historical significance also strengthens the appeal of this coin. The early 1960s represent the final chapter of traditional U.S. coin production before the removal of silver from circulating coins later in the decade. Coins from 1964 are closely tied to this turning point in American history. For many collectors, owning a top-grade 1964 Jefferson nickel with D mintmark means owning a tangible artifact from a moment when U.S. coinage was about to change forever. What surprises most people is how dramatic the value difference can be between an average coin and an extraordinary one. Two 1964 D Jefferson nickels can look nearly identical to the untrained eye, yet one may be worth only face value, while the other becomes a centerpiece of a high-end collection. This dramatic gap is what makes Jefferson nickels so fascinating and why knowledgeable collectors never dismiss them without careful inspection. Long-term trends in the U.S. coin market continue to support strong demand for elite Jefferson nickels. As more collectors enter the hobby and more coins are permanently locked away in collections, the availability of top-quality examples continues to shrink. Coins from high mintage years, like 1964, become especially challenging to find in exceptional condition because so many were mishandled, spent, or improperly stored. Serious collectors understand that rarity is not always about how many coins were made, but how many still exist in the finest condition. The 1964 Jefferson nickel with D mintmark perfectly illustrates this concept. While millions were produced, only a tiny fraction meet the strict standards demanded by advanced collectors. This is what transforms a common coin into a highly valuable U.S. collectible. The strongest proof of this coin's importance comes from the auction record. The highest price ever recorded at auction for a 1964 Jefferson nickel with D mintmark is $350,000, a figure that completely changes how this coin is viewed. That sale represents one of the finest known examples, where condition, strike quality, and rarity align perfectly in the eyes of elite collectors. Today, the 1964 D Jefferson nickel stands as a powerful reminder that valuable American coins are not always old, silver, or gold. Sometimes, the most valuable coins are those hiding in plain sight, overlooked for decades because people never imagined a Jefferson nickel could reach such extraordinary levels of worth. This coin continues to prove that knowledge, attention to detail, and patience are the real keys to discovering true value in U.S. coinage. Coin number 3. The 1979 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark is one of those United States coins that most people overlook without a second thought, yet it has quietly built a reputation among collectors as a surprisingly valuable modern nickel. Because it comes from a period many Americans assume is too recent to matter, this coin often escapes careful inspection. However, experienced collectors know that the 1979 Jefferson nickel struck without a mint mark holds a unique place in the Jefferson nickel series, especially when condition, strike quality, and overall eye appeal come together. A no mint mark Jefferson nickel indicates that the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. During this era, Philadelphia coins were issued without a mint mark, which causes many people to treat them as ordinary and common. The problem with that assumption is that it ignores how rarity actually works in the U.S. coin market. While large numbers of 1979 Jefferson Nickels were produced, very few have survived in exceptional condition. This difference between production quantity and survival quality is where real value begins. The late 1970s were a challenging time for U.S. coin production. Economic pressures, high circulation demand, and rapid minting schedules often resulted in coins with weak strikes or surface issues. The 1979 Jefferson nickel is well known among collectors for inconsistent strike quality, especially on Monticello. Many examples show soft steps, blurred architectural details, or dull surfaces. Coins that avoided these problems are far scarcer than most people realize. Condition plays a massive role in determining whether a 1979 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark is valuable. Circulated coins that spent years moving through American pockets and cash registers are extremely common and carry little premium. What collectors aggressively seek are uncirculated examples that retain full original luster, clean surfaces, and sharp detail. Each decade that passes reduces the number of coins that still meet these standards, making top-grade examples increasingly desirable. Strike sharpness is one of the most important features collectors look for on this coin. The steps of Monticello are especially critical. Many 1979 Jefferson nickels show weak or incomplete steps due to worn dies and rushed production. Coins with strong, well-defined steps immediately stand out as superior examples. These sharply struck nickels represent the best output of the U.S. Mint during a period when quality control was inconsistent. Collector demand for Jefferson nickels has grown steadily over time. What was once considered a simple, low-value series has evolved into a highly competitive collecting field. Registry collectors, in particular, seek the finest known examples of each date and mint variety. When a 1979 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark appears in exceptional condition, it often triggers intense competition among collectors trying to upgrade their sets. Another reason this coin is valuable is its deceptive age. Many people believe that only coins from the early 1900s or earlier can be worth serious money. The 1979 Jefferson nickel proves that belief wrong. Modern-era coins can become extremely valuable when high-grade examples are genuinely rare. As more collectors focus on condition rarity rather than age alone, coins like this continue to gain respect in the U.S. coin market. Storage and handling have also played a major role in shaping the value of this coin. Many 1979 Jefferson nickels were improperly stored in rolls, drawers, or containers that caused contact marks and surface damage. Others were cleaned, polished, or mishandled, permanently reducing their desirability. Coins that avoided these issues and remain in original, untouched condition are now among the most sought-after examples. Market trends consistently show that Jefferson nickels in top condition outperform expectations. As collectors become more educated and more selective, demand concentrates around elite-quality coins. This has pushed prices higher for coins that once seemed ordinary. The 1979 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark has benefited directly from this shift in collector behavior. What makes this coin especially fascinating is how easy it is to underestimate. To the untrained eye, it looks identical to countless other nickels from the same era. Yet to an experienced collector, subtle differences in luster, strike, and surface quality immediately signal whether the coin has serious value. This contrast between appearance and worth is exactly what keeps collectors searching through rolls and old collections. The strongest evidence of the coin's importance comes from documented auction results. When a truly exceptional 1979 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark appears on the market, it attracts national attention from advanced collectors. These moments redefine what people believe is possible for a modern U.S. nickel. The highest price ever recorded at auction for a 1979 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark is $186,000, a result that shocks most people who assume a nickel from the late 1970s cannot be valuable. That sale reflects a perfect alignment of rarity, condition, and demand, and it permanently established this coin as a serious collectible within the Jefferson Nickels series. Today, the 1979 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark stands as proof that valuable U.S. coins are not always old or made of precious metals. Sometimes, the most valuable coins are hiding in plain sight, dismissed for decades simply because people never imagined they could be worth so much. This coin continues to remind collectors and everyday Americans alike that knowledge is the key to discovering true value in modern American coinage. Coin number 4. The 1974 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark is a United States coin that many Americans have handled countless times without ever realizing its true potential. Because it comes from the 1970s, a decade often dismissed as too modern to matter, this nickel is frequently overlooked and underestimated. Yet collectors who understand the Jefferson Nickels series know that the 1974 no mint mark Jefferson nickel can be highly valuable under the right circumstances, and its reputation has steadily grown in the U.S. coin market. A Jefferson nickel without a mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. During this era, Philadelphia issues carried no mint mark, which causes many people to assume they are common and insignificant. That assumption has led to countless valuable coins being spent, mishandled, or permanently damaged. In reality, the absence of a mint mark does not mean the coin lacks value. Instead, it places greater importance on condition, strike quality, and surface preservation. The mid-1970s were a challenging period for U.S. coin production. High demand for circulating coinage and rapid minting schedules often resulted in quality inconsistencies. Many 1974 Jefferson nickels show weak strikes, especially on Monticello. Details such as the steps, columns, and roof lines are often soft or incomplete. Coins that avoided these issues and display sharp detail are far rarer than most people realize, making them highly desirable to collectors. Condition is one of the most important factors affecting the value of the 1974 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark. Circulated examples are extremely common, but uncirculated coins with original mint luster are much harder to find. Over decades of handling, storage, and environmental exposure, most coins from this year develop marks, dull surfaces, or other damage. Coins that remain clean, bright, and untouched stand out immediately in the eyes of experienced collectors. Collectors pay close attention to strike sharpness on this coin, especially the steps of Monticello. Many 1974 Jefferson nickels lack strong step detail due to worn dies and rushed production. Examples with crisp lettering, clear architectural features, and well-defined steps represent the finest output of the U.S. Mint during that year. These top-quality coins are considered condition rarities within the Jefferson Nickels series. Demand for Jefferson nickels has increased significantly over the years. What was once viewed as a simple, low-value series has become highly competitive, particularly among advanced and registry collectors. These collectors are constantly searching for the finest known examples, and when a high-grade 1974 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark becomes available, it often attracts immediate attention. Competition among collectors drives prices higher as they attempt to secure coins that may not appear again for years. The historical context of the 1974 Jefferson nickel also adds to its appeal. The 1970s marked a period of economic uncertainty in the United States, and coins from this era reflect changes in minting practices and public attitudes toward money. Collectors appreciate coins that represent specific moments in American history, and the 1974 Jefferson nickel serves as a tangible reminder of this transitional decade. Many people believe that only very old coins or precious metal coins can be valuable, but the 1974 Jefferson nickel proves that belief is incorrect. Modern-era coins can achieve extraordinary value when high-grade examples are genuinely scarce. As more collectors focus on condition rarity rather than age alone, coins like this continue to gain recognition and respect in the U.S. coin market. Storage and handling have played a major role in shaping the survival rate of this coin. Many 1974 Jefferson nickels were stored improperly in rolls, jars, or drawers, where they developed contact marks and surface abrasions. Others were cleaned or polished, permanently reducing their collector value. Coins that escape these mistakes and remain in original condition are now among the most valuable examples from this year. Market trends consistently show growing demand for top-quality Jefferson nickels. As time passes, fewer high-grade examples remain available, and more collectors compete for them. This imbalance between supply and demand continues to strengthen the long-term value of the 1974 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark. The strongest proof of this coin's importance comes from auction history. When a truly exceptional 1974 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark appears at public auction, it can redefine expectations and attract nationwide attention from elite collectors. These moments reveal just how powerful condition rarity can be. The highest price ever recorded at auction for a 1974 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark is $200,000, a result that shocks many people who assume a nickel from the 1970s cannot be valuable. That sale reflects a perfect alignment of rarity, condition, and collector demand, permanently placing this coin among the most valuable modern Jefferson nickels. Today, the 1974 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark stands as a reminder that valuable American coins are often hiding in plain sight. Coins that once seemed ordinary can become extraordinary when preserved in the right condition. This nickel continues to prove that knowledge, patience, and attention to detail are the keys to uncovering real value in U.S. coinage. Coin number 5. The 1976 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark is one of those U.S. coins that many Americans have seen countless times without realizing how important it can be in the collector market. Because it comes from the mid-1970s, a period often dismissed as too modern, this coin is frequently overlooked. Yet experienced collectors know that the 1976 D Jefferson nickel can be a valuable coin when specific qualities come together, and its standing within the Jefferson nickel series has grown steadily over the years. A Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark indicates that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint. During the 1970s, Denver was responsible for producing massive quantities of circulating coinage to meet public demand. This high production volume often led to inconsistent quality, which is why truly high-grade examples of the 1976 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark are far scarcer than most people expect. Quantity does not always equal availability when it comes to collectible coins. Condition is one of the most important factors in determining whether a 1976 D Jefferson nickel is valuable. Circulated examples are extremely common, but uncirculated coins with original mint luster are much harder to find. Over decades of circulation and handling, most nickels from this year develop surface marks, dull finishes, or contact damage. Coins that remain bright, clean, and untouched stand out immediately to knowledgeable collectors. Strike quality also plays a major role in the value of the 1976 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark. Many examples from this year show weak details, especially on Monticello. The steps, windows, and columns are often soft or incomplete due to worn dies and fast production speeds. Coins with sharp strikes and strong architectural detail are significantly more desirable and are considered condition rarities within the Jefferson nickel series. Collectors pay close attention to overall eye appeal when evaluating this coin. A well-preserved 1976 D Jefferson nickel with smooth surfaces, strong luster, and balanced toning can attract serious interest. Even minor differences in surface quality can result in dramatic differences in value. This is why two coins from the same year can look similar at first glance, but be separated by enormous price gaps in the collector market. Another reason this coin is valuable is the increasing competition among Jefferson nickel collectors. What was once considered a low-cost series has evolved into a highly competitive field, especially among advanced and registry collectors. These collectors constantly seek the finest known examples, and when a top-grade 1976 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark appears, it often sparks intense bidding activity. The historical context of the 1976 Jefferson nickel also adds to its appeal. The mid-1970s were a period of economic adjustment in the United States, and coins from this era reflect changes in minting practices and public confidence in currency. While the Jefferson nickel did not change in composition, the quality challenges of the decade make high-end survivors increasingly rare. Many people believe that only very old coins or precious metal coins can be worth serious money, But the 1976 Jefferson nickel proves otherwise. Modern-era coins can reach extraordinary values when high-grade examples are genuinely scarce. As more collectors focus on condition rarity instead of age alone, coins like this continue to gain recognition and respect in the U.S. coin market. Storage and handling have had a major impact on how many high-quality examples still exist. Many 1976 Jefferson nickels were stored in rolls, jars, or drawers where they suffered contact marks and abrasions. Others were cleaned or polished, permanently reducing their value. Coins that avoided these issues and remain in original condition are now among the most sought-after examples from this year. Market trends show consistent demand for elite Jefferson nickels. As time passes, fewer top-condition examples remain available, while collector interest continues to grow. This imbalance between supply and demand strengthens the long-term value of the 1976 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark and keeps it on the radar of serious collectors. The most convincing evidence of this coin's importance comes from auction history. When a truly exceptional 1976 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark appears at public auction, it can attract national attention and reset expectations for modern U.S. nickels. These sales demonstrate how powerful condition rarity can be. The highest price ever recorded at auction for a 1976 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark is $195,000, a figure that surprises many people who assume a nickel from the 1970s cannot be valuable. That result reflects a perfect combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand, firmly establishing this coin as one of the most valuable modern Jefferson nickels. Today, the 1976 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark stands as proof that valuable American coins are often hiding in plain sight. Coins that once seemed ordinary can become extraordinary when preserved in exceptional condition. This nickel continues to remind collectors and everyday Americans alike that knowledge and attention to detail are the true keys to uncovering value in U.S. coinage. These Jefferson nickels prove one powerful truth about U.S. coins. The most valuable pieces are often the ones people overlook every day. Coins that once passed through pockets, cash registers, and change jars have gone on to shock collectors, break auction records, and redefine what everyday American money can be worth. The real difference is knowledge, timing, and knowing what details to look for before it's too late. If this video changed the way you look at Jefferson nickels, you don't want to miss what's happening with Washington quarters right now, because some of those coins are quietly becoming even more valuable. Make sure to watch my full video on Washington quarter coins, subscribe to Coins Most Valuable, and don't forget to like this video, share it with fellow collectors, and comment below if you've ever checked your change for rare U.S. coins.